All right, everybody, we are live, Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. And today I have a special guest on with us, and that is Miss Sophia Stewart, who is known as and correct me if I'm wrong, who is known as the mother of the Matrix.
No, that's a tagline.
That's a tagline. Okay.
A journalist gave me. No, I'm known as the author and creator and owner of the Matrix and Terminator movie franchises.
Okay. And today's subject, Miss Stewart, is, and you might disagree with me, but today's subject is, I feel as if it's a waste of time for Black people to continue to pursue Hollywood instead of building our own Hollywood. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I always think that Black people or any people or people, period, should just create their own. Because it's always a pride in owning your own, and you can do things that, because that old system, Hollywood, is nothing but Babylon. It's nothing but Rome. And you know what happened to Rome and Babylon and Mesopotamia? They all, was destroyed by cataclysm. Because they started out good, but they ended up really bad. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So I think people should start their own, but just make it available to anyone who wants to join. Because everyone wants to join something that's good. So make it a good organization, whatever you create, because that's the criteria, something good. And available for everyone to benefit and reap from.
So let me ask you this. Why do you think with the amount of, I would say, star power and the amount of money that I would say Black entertainers have brought in over the course of Hollywood, why haven't we, I guess, started our own Hollywood?
Because everybody want to be accepted by the cabal. They want to be accepted by that cabal, that system. It's just like peer pressure. They feel like they're in, and they feel like they're accepted or they're protected by that system. But they don't see it as a corrupt system with just good and bad people commingling, because that's what all systems are. It's not a bad system or a good system. It's just simply good and bad people commingling. So if you want to look for the good, you have to find the good people. And of course, you're going to always find the negative people. You know what I'm saying? It's the way it is in life.
Okay, so if we could go ahead and go into your background. Now you wrote two, and correct me if I'm wrong, sci-fi thrillers. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct.
Okay.
I wrote a script and a book called The Third Eye Matrix.
Okay.
And what happened was my script and my book got adapted into 8 movies or more. That's what happened. It's the same way that Peter Jackson took J.R. Tolkien, who's the author. He created Lord of the Rings book and the Hobbit book. And all Peter Jackson did was adapt his books to the screen. It's called source work. You can't create anything in Hollywood unless it's the source work. And Hollywood has to buy it or steal it. There's nothing else going on. And this is the thing that most people out there, since they didn't go to film school, and a lot of them don't work in the industry, they don't know anything about Hollywood or how movies are made. Excuse me, movies are made from source work, a script, a book, a short story, somebody's real life story. It's got to be made from something, a source work, just like the Tupac story of film got sued. Do you remember this? Because they were creating the story from the different writers or journalists or newspaper articles and stuff, or magazine articles. So you have to have a source work. Hollywood can't pull it out of the air. They can't create something like magical, because if they could, they wouldn't have to steal it or buy it. That's common sense.
So basically, your content was stolen.
That's right. My content, my copyrighted content was stolen. It was a criminal act that was committed. And for some reason, people are not getting that particular issue. They're talking about all these smears and innuendos on the internet, but they're not going to the heart of what it really has happened here. That I had copyrighted source work, a script and a book. My copyrights were 81, 83, and 84. Terminator didn't come out until October the 26th, 1984. So there's no way in the world James Cameron could have created the Terminator. It was already created in 1980 while I was at USC. And the Matrix came out March the 31st. That's the national release. 1999, March the 31st, 1999. So there's no way Andy and Larry Wachowski could have created the Matrix, because the Matrix and Terminator is one epic story. The Terminator End Time Revelations is the prequels. Prequels meaning the beginning of the whole entire story in the entire two franchises, which becomes one. Sarah Connor is Neo's mother. J.C. John Connor, Jesus Christ, grows up to be Neo, one and the same, in the Matrix. Neo is an anagram for the one, Neoone. So the Terminator, here's the oracle's prophecy that a baby is going to be born to destroy them in the future when they enslave mankind. Because what I wrote was the second coming of the Christ, the evolutions of consciousness, man versus the machine. It's talking about God's children versus man's children, the machines that are born soulless. So the Terminator, here's the oracle's prophecy, and he has to time travel to the past to kill Sarah Connor so Neo will not be born. That's why he comes naked without shame. He's a microchip clone cyborg wrapped in flesh, killed, who cannot be killed, is killing. And he comes to destroy Sarah Connor so she won't have that baby. And Kyle Reese time travels to protect her from the future. He time travels. And what he does is he inadvertently falls in love with her and gets her pregnant. That's how Neo is born. The one J.C. John Connors. And if you see the three Terminators, you see him as a teenager. He's hidden out as a girl. That's why he has the long hair. He has the earring on. He looks unisex because he's hiding out as a girl, because the Terminator is looking for the Christ child, the Neo, the one. So they're killing all of these indigos and crystal children who are exhibiting all these unusual gifts, looking for the one. That's why you saw the little boy bending the spoon, and you saw the kids with the oracles. Those are the indigo kids.
So somebody's asking in the chat room, so should we watch the Terminator before we watch the Matrix? Are they both connected?
They're both connected. They're one and the same. The Terminator is the prequel, the beginning of the epic story. And it only makes sense. When you watch the first three Terminators, it goes in with the first Matrix. And 2 and 3, I made a dream out of, because it's where the Warner Brothers and the Wachowski was trying to take it in another direction. They were trying to recreate something else. It was not the Matrix 2 and 3. So I made it a dream and put it in the 4th installment, and Neo and Trinity never died. They shared a dream together because I wrote the evolutions of consciousness. So they wake up, and the saga continues with the Matrix, or Matrix. No one kills out the characters. If it's not broke, you don't fix it. Who kills out $1 billion franchise line, said you created it, and then you kill it, and then everything else you do after that is adapting somebody else's work to the screen. V for Vendetta is Alan Moore's work, the English writer Alan Moore's work. Cloud Atlas is David Mitchell's, the author David Mitchell's work. You can Google this while I'm speaking about it if you do not believe it.
I told him to Google it.
It's the Japanese guy's work from the 60s. And the Wachowskis wrote their own work. It's called Jupiter Ascending. That is the Wachowskis' work. Jupiter Ascending is what the Wachowskis created.
I saw that. It was trash.
That's right. You don't go from brilliant to trash.
It was trash. I saw it on a flight to Africa. It was absolutely trash.
That's right. That's all it is. It's just like you mimicking Michael Jackson,
Right.
and you're doing what he did 20 years ago. And all you can do is mimic Michael and do what he did 20 years ago. You can't go past that because you're not Michael Jackson. You're not the creator. Anybody that's not the creator can only mimic the creator. And all they can do is what the creator did 20 or 30 years ago. They can't get past that. They're stuck in time. Sorry, but it's the truth. You can find a Picasso right now in your basement, and you can lie and put your name on it and take it to any art dealer and get millions and millions of dollars. But guess what? When you get ready to paint, you won't be able to paint one. So it doesn't matter about the lie. You can't paint a Picasso. Only Picasso can continue his work.
Hey, so Miss Stewart,
Only I can continue my work.
So Miss Stewart, they killed Michael Jackson and gave us Bruno Mars.
Well, no, Bruno Mars is his own. He's his own type of music and work.
Oh, sorry, Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, but what they did was, now I'm not gonna make a joke out of that because Bruno Mars is very talented.
Okay.
And he's respected in his own field. But Michael Jackson and Tupac and Prince and Whitney Houston and Biggie and them there's something that come upon the earth every 100 years. A phenomenal. They're phenomenal. They are something so phenomenal that they would always sell out no matter what concerts they do upon the earth. They would get a sellout no matter what. And many, many people upon the earth love them because they're very phenomenal and gifted. And what happened was these people, by killing them out, well, they have ended a lot of money for themselves. The whole industry is garbage now and thinking really fast and not making money like it used to because a lot of Pharaoh's children died out and was killed out and are getting destroyed by their pedophilism and sexual misconduct and other things that are going on.
And so,
Hollywood is quickly sinking.
So, which leads it to my next question. Me and a brother of mine, Dave Anderson, he was on the show last week, and he spoke on how a lot of black men, black women too, do not get out of Hollywood unscathed. Either we have to wear the dress, or you have the pedophilia going on. Or you have your issue where you're no. Because let me ask you this too, and this is a two-part question.
I don't have an issue. Listen, I don't have an issue.
No. Okay, I'm sorry.
Let me clarify that for everyone who's listening.
Okay.
Anytime somebody tries to cover up and hide the truth, they have an issue.
Right.
Because as soon as the truth is going to be found out, you see what happened to Steve Wynn, and you see what happened to Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby and Kevin Spacey and that Attorney General. All of these people with their misconduct, it's catching up with them because whatever's hidden in the dark will be revealed, brought to the light. So that's what's going on. So they're going to have an issue because they stole copyrighted work. They bootlegged and counterfeited my work, and that's something you guys are not looking at. It's just like you're blaming the victim for getting raped.
Right.
Now, instead of blaming the perpetrator, you're blaming the victim. That doesn't make any sense.
So everything you just mentioned as far as the pedophilia, of course, as far as black men, putting on the dress. Is this true, and why does it continue? Why is it so rampant in Hollywood?
Well, this is what I think is going on, and this is my opinion.
Go ahead.
I can only speak for myself, and I love speaking for myself because that's the only person who you can speak for. If they want a black male to put on a dress, it's because their whole race is genocided out, and black male is just like this. They'll have babies like jackrabbits. And I think that's why a lot of them are getting shot in the back and killed by these Ku Klux Klansmen cops that have infiltrated everything, every organization upon the earth, including judges including law enforcement agencies. And so they don't want, they genocide their race out a long time ago when they sterilized themselves with birth controls. And this was way before they introduced it to the Blacks and the Catholics and the Spanish people who refused to practice sterilization. And that's why their race is always with babies. There's plenty of babies being born because that's what's happening. Every time someone is being born, someone is dying. Every time someone is dying, a baby is coming here. And so if you genocide yourself, because the difference between a man and a woman is the womb. It's not the genitalia, not having a vagina and a penis. It's about the womb, because the womb is what brings you here to earth. Woman having a baby. And a man can never have a baby, so therefore he can never, ever be a woman. Sorry, but this truth hurts. Truth hurts.
All right, so we have a question in the chat room.
Well, it's the truth.
So, of course, I'm saying chasing Hollywood is a waste of time for Black people. But a lot of Black people who get into Hollywood are well rewarded, which a lot of shiny things in green paper, as in money.
Well, let me explain that to you. All that's an illusion. Hollywood has pulled a Houdini and a Milli Vanilli on you, because anybody can come in and make you a star. A billionaire right now can make you a star, and they could give you a nice shiny pad and give you all kind of money and all kind of jewelry and cars. And then when you act up, they can take it away from you in a New York minute. So how can anybody making $180 million all of a sudden become broke?
Facts. Ooh, Bill Cosby.
Yeah, well, how can you? Ask yourself that. How is that possible?
How is that? No, I mean, we got to unpackage that. You made a great point. How can you have $400 million or $100 million and now be broke?
Okay, that's impossible. It really is, because Bill Cosby is not a person that's going out and buying stupid, extravagant things that some people can get and become broke. He's an educated person. He's a PhD, and he knows about money because he still has some. So people who don't know anything about money, well, like they said, a fool in his money will soon perish. That's in the Bible, in Proverbs. Go in there and look and read. Because anybody that doesn't understand money cannot keep it. And I don't care who you are, how many lotteries you win. If you don't have any knowledge of money, or have someone who's Christian-based that's going to make sure they keep your money and not steal it from you or embezzle it from you, you will not be able to keep your money. If you don't know anything about taxes, the IRS is going to get your money also.
Mm-hmm. So, Ms. Stewart, how was your work, I guess, stolen? Like, how did that happen?
It's quite easy. Just like I asked you, how was your car stolen? Someone goes in your yard and takes your car. You got the title to the car. What do? Because I didn't make any contracts with them. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't sit down at a table and somebody fooled me or cheated me or swindled me out of my work. They just took it, just like somebody go and take your car. Mm-hmm. And all of you are familiar with theft. Don't play like you don't know what theft is. You've gotten your car stolen. You've gotten your money stolen. You've gotten your coat stolen, your shoes, a lot of things, your girlfriends, your wives. You got something stolen, and theft is theft, no matter what it is. The only difference in theft is the amount of money that's stolen from you, or the value of the thing that's stolen from you. Mm-hmm.
So you didn't.
In my case, it was billions of dollars.
So you didn't sit down and meet with James Cameron or pitch an idea, then they stole it. They just found your books and just.
They didn't find the book in the script. They asked for it. 20th Century Fox and the Wachowskis, they asked for it. And when I sent it to them, they didn't pay for it, and they didn't return it. Okay. If you don't believe it, get the Third Eye Matrix book, the registered return receipts where they registered, where they signed for it. It's all in the book. The letters of access, The FBI validations of the theft. The court doctor, they told the judge that they wanted her to gag me because they had given me a settlement. It's all in the book. All Black people do, or people, period, have to do is get the books and read them. That way, when you read all the smears on the internet, it's not real news. The internet is smears and lies and innuendos. You cannot sue anybody on the internet, okay?
Mm-hmm.
People are not even using their real names on the internet. Just a bunch of trolls,
right?
A bunch of confusion.
They come over here. They come over here. They come over here. So no,
that's all it is.
Knowing what you know now, do you regret sending that script to 20th Century Fox?
No, I don't regret sending anything. The executive over there, Susan Mesbeck, got the script in the book. She and David Madden and Valerie Red and Gail Ann Hurd and James Cameron. That's how it came together over there with the Terminator. Mm-hmm. And then the Wachowskis took it to Warner Brothers and Joe Silver. That's that group of people. Andy and Larry Wachowski, Joe Silvers, and Warner Brothers.
So
now you're getting the picture.
I absolutely. So
when you write a book, it's a lot of work.
I know I've written several. I trust, and I can see my books aren't as big as yours.
I created the characters. I created the graphics, the special effects, mm-hmm. the synopsis, the character analysis. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work. The makings of the third eye, the Matrix, making of the Matrix.
Everybody, can you please?
A lot of work.
I completely agree. People, can you please get the likes up? Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Also, too, if you super chat, you get, and Miss Stewart, I'm going to mail you. I have a postcard here in my hand from me when I'm in Africa with the Ashanti Royal Guard. I'm going to send one to you just to let you know for coming on. But people who super chat, you will get a postcard. Just email me your address. Now, Miss Stewart, again, we just speak on Black people not building their own industry. So we have, I don't know if you're familiar with Jack Daniels, is it brandy or the drink, the alcohol, Jack Daniels. Are you familiar with that?
Everybody's familiar with Jack Daniels, unless you come from another planet.
Mm-hmm. So what?
In America, that's what I'm speaking about.
Right. So the recipe was created by a Black man. It's just let me ask you this. Do you think Black people have an inferiority complex? Because we have all these great ideas, but we feel as if we need others to assist us to create them. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, let me go way back, people back further to the Renaissance period. Mm-hmm. Michelangelo was paid to paint Jesus white. Mm-hmm. Right now, there are people going over to the Egypt, to the Egyptian pyramids, and they're painting the pharaohs white. Mm-hmm. There was brown and black bread, and it became white bread. There was brown sugar cane before it became white sugar, refined sugar with no nutrients. There was brown rice before it became white rice with no nutrients or value. There was a black house. It got burnt down, but it was the black house before it became a white house. Mm-hmm. There was Black Wall Street before it became White Wall Street. The White Wall Street, you know it today. Before, back in the 20s, it was a Black Wall Street, and there was many Black multimillionaires. But the Ku Klux Klan got jealous about this and hating, because they were the ones who did not want to circulate the money with Black people. So what did they do? They started a race war, and they killed out all these Black millionaires, and they took all their properties, and they killed the Black surgeon. That was really phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And this is how you get to see all of this. It started in the 1800s, right in 1865, right after the war. What happened during the war was the Black people did get their 40 acres and a mule.
Right. They actually
So
did.
what happened was the Ku Klux Klan was formed at that time. The Ku Klux Klan are the law enforcement people who have been masking behind law enforcement. They were the ones who were supposed to uphold the law. They were the ones that put on the sheets because they had a lot to lose. This is how the KKK got formed. They didn't want you to know this, and this is what's going on right now. But now they don't have to wear these sheets anymore. They got Brooks Brothers suits on, and they got hand signals, and they're judges, and they're all in law enforcement, and they're senators, and they're politicians, and they was put in these offices to uphold the law, and they're the ones who are breaking the law. And these clowns that you see in these parades with these hoods on and all that stuff and pretending to be Ku Klux Klansmen, those are the distractions for you to think there's some white supremacist race out there that's hating people of color. But it's all about economics. It's all about money and greed. Because when the people who put on those white sheets back in 1865, it was all about the land and money. They ran a lot of black people off of the land. They burned their crops so they couldn't pay taxes. And they killed a lot of them that would not leave no matter what. This is what's going on. And you guys need to wake up to the truth. Go back and read and research. This is what's going on. This is why black people are getting shot in the back and nothing is being done about it. This is why you're seeing in the news where white people are making phone calls on black people. They're like they did with the girl, the student at Yale.
At Yale, yeah.
Like they did, like what they did with the two guys that came into Starbucks. They've got on the phone and lied many a times and got black people killed. Lied and said black people had guns when they didn't have guns. Mm-hmm. And cops came in drawn and ready to kill. This has been going on for a long, long time with Trayvon Martin, with a whole lot of people here in America. America, the Matrix was created to wake you up. And you're so asleep that most black people did not believe me until the Black Panther movie came out. They could not believe that a black person could write and create something great. It's horrible to say it, but it's the absolute truth, and it needs to be said. When they saw that the Black Panther movie made billions and billions of dollars, still making billions over in Saudi Arabia, the Crown Prince dropped the ban after 35 years. His favorite movie is the Black Panther movie, and that's what they're watching. A lot of the producers and people who tried to court the Crown Prince to put their movies over there in Saudi, but they had too much homosexuality, too much pedophilism, and too much naked and cursing in their movies to get shown over in Saudi Arabia, over in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. It's the truth.
So now,
so a black male, and wait a minute, I want to wait.
No, go ahead.
Finish.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up.
A black male, Ryan Coogler, a young black male, gets to direct a movie that cost over $200 million, unheard of. Antoine Fuqua, Spike Lee, John Singleton, the Ross director, Bill Dukes, Denzel Washington, because they all direct now. They could not even direct a $150 million movie in Hollywood. They would not. You know why? Because the director is over the budget. And they wouldn't allow a black man to be over $150 or $200 million budget. So Ron Coogler made history. And his name got to be put on there as part of the writer. And he's going to win a Best Director coming up for the next Academy. Watch and see the Oracle prophecy. He accomplished something that took 90-some years, because what is it, the next Academy going to be? The next 90-some years?
Yeah.
89 years? Because it took 82 years for the white director, the white woman, to get Best Director. And now it's taking 90-some years for a black man to get to be Best Director, but that's what you need to wake up. if an organization is not serving all of us, and there's many races upon the earth, and I'm gonna call them tribes because there are no such thing as a race. Go back in the Bible, and the Bible clearly tells us we come from tribes, and you're exhibiting the traits of the tribe you came from. And you didn't come from Africa, because Africa is a white man's name. You're not an African American, because there's white people that are African Americans that are born there. Africa is a place, a nation. It's not a race. And there were black people on all of the earth. And they kidnapped you from the north, because we were all free. They kidnapped you from the north, took you to the south, and enslaved you for free labor, which is called the prison system right now today. And they changed the name from Kunta Kinte to Toby, because that's what kidnappers do when they rob and steal and kidnap you. They change your appearance and change your name. They have to go 3,000 or 4,000 miles and endure hunger and a lack of fresh water to steal you from Africa. There's all of the places on earth, land masses, where black people were in all of these places. So I don't get that at all. Why do black people in America feel there's only American Africa? No, black people was around all over the whole globe, and they were free. And the natives that is on the reservations, they are the descendants of the conquistadors, Cortez, and then when they came over to America and started raping America. Because if they were natives of this land, America, they wouldn't be on a reservation. Every time there's a war, and any foreigners that come in this land, they get put into camps. The Cubans over in Miami, the Japanese, when the Pearl Harbor War was going on, they was in these camps. Guantanamo Bay, whenever anybody from any foreign country do anything in America, they get sent over to Guantanamo Bay. Now, the black people, you came from America, you're Americans, because you're not on any reservation. If you came from Africa, you'd be on a reservation. Use your common sense. That's all it is, common sense.
So how do you
feel?
So should we? So how do we pick and choose? I guess because who's in Hollywood? How do we pick and choose whose accolades to celebrate? When, in my honest opinion, I feel as if Hollywood would never serve the best interests of black people.
Hollywood doesn't even want black people over there. Do you know that the government is subsidizing the paychecks of the black people that are there? Because what happened was all the studios were very racist, and they didn't want any blacks there, and the government said they were breaking the law, that they had to. So the government forced them to open up their doors and put black people there, but the black people couldn't green light anything. They had no autonomy. All they could come in and do is do Girl Friday's work, read their magazines or newspapers, but they couldn't green light any project. They didn't have any say. In Hollywood, all the black movies like the James Brown movie or the Jackie Robinson movie was written by white and Jewish writers. Mm-hmm. When they did voiceovers, it was whites and Jews playing like they were black. They wouldn't even let black people make any paychecks off of that voiceover or green lighting any project. Black people were begging. Can you imagine that the black people on the earth is the biggest consumers, billion-dollar consumers, but they're begging Hollywood? And they woke up to their power when they saw the money that they put out for Black Panther movie. That woke up every black American, because the lie that was told was, we don't want to do any black movies that have black people to participate because your black movies don't make any money. The black people don't support black movies. They don't have any unity. They don't come together. It's all a lie. Black Panther movie gave the Africans their first Black African hero. In my work, The Matrix gave them their first Black superheroes here in America. It's not the white man. It's not saving the world. It's not Superman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Batman, and Rocky saving the world. And what happens in the Infinity War, the Avengers? It kills out the Black Panther. Sorry.
Right. Damn. Right. Yo, so let me ask you this, Miss Stewart. There's a lot of crab. I mean, Black people, we suffer somewhat from a crab in a barrel mentality. Doing your, I guess, case in the adversity that you faced, did any big Black Hollywood names help you or support you at all?
Let me tell you something. People that belong to the cabal is going to do what the cabal tells them to do. And that's any organization. They do whatever their organization tells them to do. It's just like a cult. It's just like a following. They do what. The only people that are free to spend their money are the grassroots people and the people who are searching and looking for truth. So the people gave me the money that won my case, anywhere from $5 to over $50,000. People who were seeking, and they were many different colors. That's right, many different people. It was just about, like God said, it was good versus evil. That's what it was. Those who were about good, they would support the truth. Those who were about evil and lies, they stuck to the other side. And then listen to me out there. My story is the true David and Goliath story, because God was with me. I went up against the power that be. It was evil versus good, and God won out over the evil. Now, God clearly tells you what evil is. He says, go in the Bible, and he tells you that the devil, which is the word Ebonic for the evil comes to lie, kill, and steal, and blackmail. Lie, kill, and steal, and blackmail. And what does he do? He deceives you. That's right. He pulls a Milli Vanilli and a Houdini on you. That's what happens.
Everybody, can we please get the likes up? You know, again, if you're not super chatting, the least you could do is like and share the like and share the page. Let me ask you this. So have you people keep bringing up Nollywood, and should they just go independent outside of Hollywood? How do you feel about like Nollywood and Black directors and actors who are going independent and choosing not to go and chase Hollywood? Is that a smart idea?
Well, Hollywood, like I said in all of my interviews way back, Hollywood is going to end up in the thrift stores. Hollywood is going to be the same way that IBM and Xerox didn't know what a mouse was and what a mouse means. They didn't know what internet was. So look at Microsoft and Apple became these big billion-dollar corporations.
Right.
Well, Hollywood want to continue to practice the same stealing, net profit, not profit participation, which is stealing, distribution, which is stealing from the people, which is stealing. So that's all going out of business. They've atrophied themselves out of business. All the old equipment is going to be in the thrift stores. Because you know why? They didn't know what streaming is, like Netflix and Amazon. Netflix and Amazon is going to be like the big billion-dollar corporations like Apple and Microsoft when they go into streaming. And let me give you a good example.
Go ahead.
You don't need Hollywood anymore for distribution. They're creating a satellite platform right now where I can scan. I go out and do Matrix 4 anywhere. I can do it over in Saudi Arabia. There's brand new studios. They're over in China. And I don't have to take it to Hollywood and do distribution with them. I can take it on a streaming platform with satellite Well, they go into billions of people's homes, and they get paid $10 a download, and I can keep it exclusive with a satellite platform and make billions of dollars. It's just like going into the ebook. No doubt, it's no overhead.
Right.
So who needs Hollywood? Hollywood didn't know what streaming is. Now you're getting the picture.
Absolutely. So how do you feel about, like, for example, a couple of years ago, you had Oscars So White. Like, how do you feel about when Black Hollywood comes together, and that's like the best thing they could, I guess, get together and I guess, protest?
Black Hollywood got together and protested what?
Oscars So White. Like, they felt like Oscars weren't giving awards to people.
Well, Oscar has been discriminating against females, Black males, Black people in general, and people of color. They've been discriminating for years. In fact, they got a whole little clique of their friends only, and who their friends recommend, and who they friends bring into the clique. That's all it is. It's just a clique.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't belong into the clique, you're not going to win an Oscar. And if they're pissed off at you, they don't know how good your work is. Look at Leonardo DiCaprio. Why would it take 100 years for him to win an Oscar? And he's done very good work. And why would it, some people like Paul Newman and some other ones, like Clint Eastwood, and had great work, and they had to get honorary Oscars. Come on, it doesn't make any sense. And some people get an Oscar, and you never heard from them ever again. Just one shot.
Yeah, Monique.
Nothing. Well, I'm not going to talk about Monique, because Monique and a lot of other Black people got Oscars for negative role models.
And that's the thing. Like, and that's
a good actor.
I
think she is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you look back, and we're going to name a few. We're going to say that Olivia Spencer got an Oscar for putting shit in the pie. And we're going to say that Halle Berry got the Oscar for having sex with Billy Bob Thornton. And Angelina Jolie left him right after that. You know, being a bad wife. And we're going to say that, come on, look at all the, that Denzel got an Oscar for being a bad cop.
Right.
And yeah, let's just look at some of this. And what's the name got an Oscar for being a maid, Hattie McDaniel. But she said that she'd rather be a maid in the movies than to be one in real life. That was her answer. So if you go back and you can look at, the only ones that I see with positive, role models of getting an Oscar was Sidney Poitier,
mm-hmm.
Jamie Foxx. They got Oscars for positive roles. But after that, they try to give Black people Oscars for negative roles. So, look at our kids. Our kids want to look up to Black, their Black heroes. So why are you going to give them an Oscar for a negative role? Come on. Go back and examine Hollywood, the Academy, and their whole little clique.
Now,
see who they're serving over there. Who are they serving?
Now, do you plan on, I guess, coming back to Hollywood at all, or going to Nollywood?
I never was in Hollywood. No, listen, I'm gonna tell you like DMX.
Go ahead.
There are people that are part of the industry, and that's called the cabal. And there's people that's in the industry. Now, I'm in the industry, but I'm not a part of the industry, which is the cabal.
Mm-hmm.
The cabal owns certain people. You know who they are. I'm not gonna name any names.
No, name the names. Name the names.
I'm not going to name any names because you can see them on television.
Okay, all right.
Go look at the Met Gala. M-E-T Gala, G-A-L-A, Met Gala. Go look at it.
Yeah.
And so you Google it, and you can look at them yourself. They're spelling it out for you. And if you don't understand English or understand the symbolism that you see, then you got to go back to school.
How do you feel about?
I don't need to name names. You already know.
Absolutely. How do you feel about Black entertainers celebrating this Met Gala in the way they do? Like they get hyped for it. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, you can look at it. You can tell what it is. I know you know about the Crusaders and the Crusaders and the Templars.
Yeah, yeah,
Templars,
absolutely, yeah.
And the Pope and the Rome and what that's all about. You don't got to be rocket scientists to figure what that's about.
Right.
What's Madonna forming? Look at what they're wearing. What is the costume telling you?
Right.
Those costumes cost $30,000 on up, and they've been planned for 3 or 4 years. They didn't happen overnight.
Right.
And what are they putting in your face? Well, who are they celebrating? I don't see them celebrating God.
No.
I don't see them celebrating God. So who are they celebrating? Or what do you think Halloween is? Who is Halloween celebrating?
Right.
It's in your schools, it's in your churches. The kids are getting it, so who is it celebrating?
No, you're right. Now people keep.
Do I need to answer that?
No, go ahead. I mean, the devil, evil.
Well, there's some things that are self-explanatory, isn't it?
Right. Now, let me ask you this. People keep asking for solutions. Like, what are the solutions? Like, what should Black people be doing?
The solution is you. That's like Michael Jackson said when he said it, the man in the mirror. It's the man in the mirror is you. And he said, if you want to make a change, then you have to change yourself. And that's what the Bible tells you. If you want somebody to emulate you, then you need to be the best that you can be. Because we all fall short of the glory of God. We're all infallible, we all make mistakes. We all have that part of us. But we can be the best that we can be, and we can be an example of it. And when others see and they like it, they will emulate and they will follow and become the best that they can be. Because that's how it. Why do you think why do you think Hollywood create idols?
True. Miss Stewart, there's a lot of background noise in the background.
I know it's nothing to do with me. I don't know where it's coming from. I thought it was coming from your part, because it's definitely not coming from me.
Okay. All right. Let's see if we got any questions. Oh, well, Miss Stewart, tell everybody about your if you have any current projects coming up. I know you have books that people can buy. They're on your site, correct? So I could, make sure we go out there and support you. I'm definitely gonna go buy a book. Tell people what you're currently working on now.
Yeah, Matrix 4 movie coming, the 4th installment of the Matrix trilogy. Get the book, Matrix 4, The Evolution, on my website. It's matrixterminator.com. Matrix Terminator is one word, www.matrixterminator.com. The book, I got it cheaper on the platform, but those in the foreign countries, if you want to, you can get it from Amazon.com. It's left up to you guys. You can get it because I have it on many platforms. But get the book, read it, because the movie is coming soon.
Okay, now
many people flying in trying to get it.
Okay, so the movie.
Warner Brothers offered $30 million for the script.
So are you going to do the movie?
I don't have to do the movie. No individuals do the movie. What they do is a production company, directors, and people, in the Hollywood that make movies come in and buy the script and negotiate a deal, and they're the ones that do the movie. And the individuals only do up to movies from anywhere from few $100,000s up to maybe $20 million. That's an individual, but individuals don't do 200 plus $150 million movies.
Okay.
They're done by professional people that's in the industry.
Now
you don't go and build a house, a $200 million house on yourself and hire some contractors. You go out and get the right people to build it.
Now, are you now are the well, I guess they're no longer brothers. The Wachowski sisters now
Well,
are
they're still
the
brothers because
Wachowski transvestites.
no, they're still brothers. When they were entered into the courts that I won in 4 years ago, their names was entered in as Andy and Larry Wachowski. If they had a sex change or they had their organs cut off or their names changed, it would have went down in there. I can give anybody the transcript, and you can see that they've been deceiving you for a number of years.
So, do you think this sex change had to do with the case?
Of course, it has something to do with the case and what's going on here.
And can you tell people? People are asking about the case, and like, can you tell us just the case and how it how it ended up, how it was resolved, or etc. Or was it resolved?
Of course, it was resolved. I won 4 years ago. So say, just like I told people, it's the David and Goliath story. Warner Brothers and the defendants from the California case entered in the second Utah federal court case in Salt Lake City, and they asked the judge for the default judgment and the money. And the judge awarded me the money and the default judgment. And anybody doesn't believe it, I'll give you the judge's ruling for them to see with their own eyes, docket 282 and 283, the Utah transcript, and the judge's ruling where the judge says everything that I alleged in my amended complaint is a fact, that they stole it from me, and the judge admitted that they stole it from me, the work was stolen from me. So anybody who out there will want to shove it up some people's butt that's lying and smearing, well, I got the right tool for you. I got the truth. I got the truth for you. There's nothing like a document from the court.
And I'm looking at pictures of the Wachowski, we'll just say transvestites, if that's the correct term.
I'm not gonna call them that.
Yeah, I don't know what to call them. I just why are
that they are males, and that's what was entered into the court system. So I just think that's what they still are, males.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, and I don't know if you're familiar with Janelle Monáe. You know, she says she's she's pansexual. Why are people in Hollywood so weird? Like, why are they so damn weird? Do you know why?
You know what's going on in Hollywood?
Is it the water? Like what is it? Like I tell you about myself. I was an aspiring model, and I just saw all the weird shit going on in Hollywood. And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to corporate America. Like it's just a lot of weird shit going on. Why is it filled with just weirdos?
Well, that's what's going on in Hollywood. What do you think the word Hollywood comes from? Holly is the tree that the witches, that's the one from, and that's why we called it Hollywood. Holly tree.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with that?
I'm not. From my understanding, Hollywood comes from like the magician Merlin or something. That's what I was told. I don't know.
Nah, it's a lot of witches and warlocks over there that's practicing their craft, because making movies is creating deception. They're deceiving you. They're making you think that their favorite actress or favorite star got killed in the movie, or they are a doctor, or they're a lawyer, or they're a killer. But it's practicing the art of deception. So guess what? The opposite goes to the best liar. If you think about it, the opposite goes to the best liar. One that convinces you that on the screen that they were who they portrayed to be. That's the opposite. I know you never thought of it like that, right?
I never have. Like I said, I was just told it was had to do with Merlin, the magician Merlin. That's what I was that's what I was told. So
think about the holly tree. You can Google it, and you can see the witches made their wand from the holly tree.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So you can look that up. You can look it up. do you know in the Bible where it has Sodom and Gomorrah?
Yes.
Sodom and Gomorrah was sodomizing and Gundaria. That's why it was destroyed. That's why a cataclysm was created. If anybody doesn't believe it, go into the Bible and look at this old movie from 1962 with Stuart Granger. You can Google it. Stuart Granger is in it. It's the star. It's called Sodom and Gomorrah, and it comes from the Bible, but it's sodomizing and Gundaria. And in that, the ladies dancing in front of the queen is twerking their butts, so it didn't come from Miley Cyrus. They were twerking their butts back in 1952.
So do you think go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that when they said that Miley Cyrus came out with twerking the butts and all these girls are twerking their butts on the internet, it's an old thing that comes back in 1962. That's why I'm telling people go get the movie, Sodom and Gomorrah, Stuart Granger, Google it, and come up, and you'll see it. Watch the entire movie. You'll see they're having art, they're doing homosexual acts, and they're trading off their women with their guards and soldiers. It's just the whole thing of sodomizing and Gundaria going on there. And this is why in the Bible, when you see Babylon was destroyed, Pompeii, Mesopotamia, Rome. Well, the Romans started out as wholesome with family and children. And then Caligula, he went on to have sex with his sister and his animals. And then, they got into bestiality. And they're trying to do that in America to make pedophilism legal to have sex with kids. And then you can marry your animal after that and have sex with your animal. It'll just keep getting really bad after that. So that's what happens.
Okay, so you think
I know that doesn't sound crazy.
No, but we keep hearing this as far as them legalizing bestiality, then legalizing pedophilia. So you think that's something that we might see in our lifetime?
Well, it's coming. You don't change it. You don't change things now. Well, see, the power is with the people. This is something that people have been screwed on. The people think that if they elect a president or a queen or a king, or if they put somebody over them, a pope or a cardinal, they got to listen to these people and follow behind them. So none of these people, senators, politicians, and none of them have the power. They're scared of you. You meaning the people. The late John Kennedy told you guys a powerful truth when he said that the power is with the people. The power has always been with the people. And all the people have to do is rise up. If they don't like something, they can change it. They don't have to agree. They don't have to follow. If you don't like the people in office, get rid of them. You got the power. You don't have to sit there like a sitting duck and take whatever. You have the power. Keep your guns, because you might have to overthrow that power one day. You have to protect yourself from evil. But you need to be an example of good. And you need to have others doing good, and other people bringing together, banding together to get rid of evil. Use everything for good.
So
get rid of the evil.
So do you Hollywood is going to end up like Toys R Us and just going bankrupt and disappearing one day?
Well, that's good and bad. There's good and bad in everywhere. Just like I told you, good cops, bad cops, good judges, bad judges, good lawyers, bad lawyers, good people, bad people. There are no, look, the organizations are innate. They're just simply good and bad people commingling, all back together. That's everywhere. So if you're a good person, look for the good. Go in there and find the good people to help you. No matter what organization you go in. They're good people. Nothing is all bad, and nothing is all good, and nothing is all evil, and nothing is all, wicked. They're simply good and bad and all. And if you want good, then look for the good and find the good people to help you, because I did. And I learned.
Matt, did you find a lot of good people in our community, in the Black community, that was willing to help, or was it outside of our community?
There were people of all races, color, creeds, nationalities, or whatever they want to call them. They were just good people. They had different skin colors and different persuasions and different sects and different, but there were just people who were seekers after truth and good.
Now, let me ask
you could find them. If you could overcome all adversity on earth by looking for good people to help you, and they will.
So
that's what the whole thing was about.
So
it was Christ came to walk this walk, to overcome adversity, to show you he took a body and lived a human life to show you that nothing on earth could defeat what's inside of us. That the real power and the real juice was inside of us. That everything on the outside of us was the illusion, was the ignorance. And that we could dispel that ignorance and that illusion with truth. What's embodied inside of us. That we could speak the truth. And the truth would set us free. And that if we pray, kept prayer in our lives, and prayer, everything we do, we would receive the kingdom of heaven, because the prayer would protect us, because no two things can occupy the same space. And so if you fill your spaces up with prayer and with God, you would be taken care of and you would be fine. It was those who neglected to pray and to ask for favor, put God in all the spaces that let chaos get in. And that in chaos or evil could not cross your threshold unless you invited it in. And it will come knocking, but you will not let it in. Do not let it in. Fill up your spaces with faith. Pray to God, ask God for favors. You don't have to ask man for anything. Pray to God and ask God for favor on everything you do. Ask God for it.
Okay.
That's why man has gotten so many people's souls over there, because they felt that they asked man, they would get the kingdom. Remember what the devil told Jesus? When Jesus was hungering in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, the devil came upon him and he said, look at all these kingdoms here upon the earth. He said, they're mine to give. Bow down and worship me and they will be yours. But the devil is a liar and a deceiver. Because all the kingdoms he's given all those people in Hollywood, he snatches them away from them, and look what happens to a lot of them. And Jesus told the devil that man cannot live by bread alone, but he must live from also the Spirit. What he was telling him is that the material world just won't satisfy you by itself. You can have all the great wealth and great riches. You can have all the the expensive cars and mansions, and your name could be screamed out, and you can have all the deals and business and money and wealth in the world, but that will not satisfy your soul. You have to have love. You have to have the emotional content. And when your soul is taken, that's where you want to commit suicide. That's why you're empty and devoid of anything, and you can't enjoy the material things, because without love, without emotions and feelings, the materialistic world means absolutely nothing. Those cars, those bank accounts, that fame and fortune on the red carpet means nothing if you don't have love and feeling and happiness and joy. And when they take your soul away, they're taking your love, your heart, your joy, your feelings away. So all you got is all this innate material thing that has no warmth to it, can't bring you no bread, can't rub your back, can't kiss you, can't hug you. Because it's been proven that man by himself will die. He doesn't have someone to love him or to be in love with.
So
it's real.
So two more questions. So how do you feel about the success of Brian Allen and Ryan Coogler? And then what do you think the future is for Black people in America?
Wait a minute. How do I feel about Ryan Coogler and who?
Are you familiar with Brian Allen?
Brian Allen. You mean Byron Allen?
Byron. I'm sorry, Byron Allen. I apologize.
Oh, wow. Okay, what do I feel about Ryan Coogler? I mean, I'm glad and happy for his success, Ryan Coogler. I'm happy for Byron Allen's success that he acquired something, and because they have made history and they are examples. I hope they stay good and positive examples for others to look up to and emulate so they can move up to that. And what is the future for Black people? I mean, the future for people, period, is good if they continue to do good. That's what it is for people, all people, from no matter what. Because I would like to talk about all people because we're all in it together. We're all in this together as one.
Absolutely. All right.
So I think good. Let me tell you another thing.
Go ahead.
The earth will never, ever be destroyed. It was never, ever destroyed. There were many, many cataclysms to wipe out and that became so bad and negative. And that's what the cataclysms do. Take away all of who are not giving. They're taking in, they're consuming, but they're not balancing out. But this is all you have to do is do good and be grateful and thankful and praise God and just be happy and enjoy today because tomorrow is not promised. And do not look backwards because it's gone forever. You only have right here, right now. Don't look to the future too far because God takes care of that. But try to enjoy and be happy for what you got right here, right now, today. Because guess what? You might not be here tomorrow.
Absolutely. Sister Stewart, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's an honor and a pleasure for you to, come on, especially last minute, because I literally just reached out to you this morning and you responded quickly and you were able to come on last minute, and I really appreciate it. I absolutely enjoyed it. Enjoyed you on here today. And you are always welcome. And I will make sure I stay in touch. You will hear from me a lot. I appreciate you coming on. So thank you.
I wanted to tell you one other thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
You know what I'm talking about?
Say it one more time.
That's what that background, like someone is recording, like somebody in your vicinity has the recording on, like they're recording. Because I've done millions of interviews, and that's what that background noise sounds like to me. It's got an echo. It just sounds like someone is recording. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, it's what it is. I mean, it's live anyway. So, oh well. Oh well.
Yeah, well, I don't care because I'm only going to speak the truth.
Right.
And I've done over 4,000 media interviews, and I always speak the truth. People can go to YouTube and put in Sophia Stewart and Google me and pull up my podcast and listen to me. I'm only going to speak the truth. I'm standing for God. I've made my choice.
Absolutely. So, sister, thank you so much for coming on. Everybody, make sure you like and share the video. Also, please support Sister Stewart as well. I'll put the link to her site in the chat room, and I'll also put it in the description box. So when this video posts on YouTube, it will be there. Also, make sure you go to search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, Africa Personified on those same platforms. And make sure you go to search for Uhuru.com, DynastAmir.com, AfricaPersonified.Africa, and go to Amazon.com. Search your name, Dynasty Amir. Please buy a book. Once again, and everybody, make sure you go to truthaboutmatrix.com. Truthaboutmatrix.com. I will be buying a book today. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Sister Stewart, thank you so much. Till next time, peace.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Anytime. Bye-bye.